Hi, I'm Sandy, and welcome to Life with Sandy. Well, good morning. Today is Friday, October 21st, and we do have some birthdays today. Today is Stephanie Supps, Suppps. So, Stephanie, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephanie. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. It is also Katie Williams' birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katie. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Olivia Vasquez, Vasquez. Olivia. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Olivia. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. It's also Tamara. I did the same thing last year. I think it's Tamara Foreman. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tamara. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. And of course, I can't forget the brat, Angela, over at Smack Vision. Today's her birthday too. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Angela. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Well, I hope you all have a great birthday. Well, as I was editing my video, I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anybody's birthday or anniversary, so I double checked my calendar. And guess what? I did miss somebody. There was another Angela. Angela, I almost forgot your birthday because you got me mixed up with Ange. I just figured I had her in there as Ange, but Angela, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Angela. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Well, I hope you have a great birthday, Angela. So glad I didn't forget you. Do I look tired? It's early. I knew I had to get up early today anyhow because I'm bringing Danny. He's 45 now. He's having his colonoscopy today, and I told him I would drive him. And, true to form, even though I was exhausted yesterday, I didn't get to bed until 2 o'clock, and I got up at 8 o'clock. I got 6 hours, so, I usually average around 7, so nap in my future today, that's for sure. So I'm bringing him for his colonoscopy. It would have been nice if it would have been at the same hospital that Jim's at, because then I could have visited with Jim at the same time. Well, because this will probably be, even though this procedure is not that long, I'm going to be there a while. He's got to be there, I think 2 hours before or an hour before, and then the procedure takes about a half an hour, and then you got to wait an hour, so probably won't be bringing him home till 1. But I did pack a breakfast, or a lunch actually, because I figured we'll be bringing Danny back to his house about 1 o'clock. So I'll be going back, bringing Danny back, and then I brought my own healthy food to eat. I have it in a cooler in the back seat, or like a lunchbox. And then after I get done eating, then I am going to go to visit Jim at the hospital. So this kind of works out in a way because the hospital is 20 minutes from Danny's house, and I'm 20 minutes to Danny's house, so it's a 40-minute drive, and we know how I only like a 30-minute window. So I'll have no problems getting there. It's like when I'm coming home, the long 40-minute drive. Plus, when I come home, I'm going to hit all of that traffic because I got to drive partway through Detroit to get home. I'll have all the rush hour traffic because I want to get home before it gets dark. Because I'm not a night driver. That I definitely am not, and Jim knows that too. Jimmy's going to come visit him this afternoon. Christy went and saw him last night. if he's still in the hospital tomorrow, Danny's going to go visit him tomorrow. But hopefully he's going to come home tomorrow. So that would lead me to, we're getting on the expressway, so I'm going to have to be very careful because it's early, so it's rush hour in the morning. I want to thank everybody for all your thoughts and prayers. It was just so overwhelming. And sometimes you just take things for granted, and I don't want you to ever think I take any of you for granted. And I so appreciate you reaching out to me, whether it was Facebook Messenger or emails or in the comments. It was just overwhelming. So I am so appreciative of it, and I so thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. I really do. But yesterday, like I said, I didn't tell you too much, but Jim was, I know, I don't trust the mirrors. I always look in the mirror and then I look to make sure. Jim woke me up in the morning and he said he wasn't feeling well. Should we go to the hospital? Well, we went to, which is a surgical center type of thing, where they do x-rays and, you know, they draw blood and they do imaging and CAT scans. They do all of that stuff. And so we really didn't think it was that serious. You know, we just figured that they'd give him something to, because he said diarrhea, I know, TMI, but he said diarrhea since Monday. And he was having really bad stomach cramps, and his stomach kind of got, really, he said it felt like a watermelon, ready to bust. So, first thing you know, when you get there, they do a COVID test, because he says, I think I have COVID. And I go, well, I don't know, you know, because he didn't have a fever or any of that other stuff. So, they did the COVID test on both of us, and we both came out negative. And then they took blood and everything, and I guess they were looking for some kind of virus that's going around. He didn't have that either. And they checked all of his levels to see if he was dehydrated. He wasn't dehydrated. So that's when they took him for x-rays, and they did a CAT scan with a dye. And then the doctor came back and said that he had an obstructed bowel. Not so much, so then we couldn't figure out how he was able to have diarrhea so bad if he has an obstructed bowel. And the way he explained it is that one of the veins or whatever, tubes, I don't know that much about anatomy, but whatever was leading to the bowel was twisted. And it was twisted just enough that some of the fecal matter could get past, but not like in a stool. So that's why it was so watery. But the other part of it was backing up, which is not good. So he said, well, I think you should be admitted. And then Jim says, and the funny thing is, Jim and I were just talking just before that. He says, well, the only reason I came is because, you know, like, because we watch medical shows like Chicago Med and, you know, all those kind of ER, all that kind of stuff. He says, I always wonder when these people show up at the emergency room and they say, well, I'm not feeling well. You know, my stomach's been bothering me, and then they cut in and all this green stuff comes oozing out. So we told, you know, so I said, well, you know, that's why we're here. We're going to figure out what's going on. So then the doctor comes out and says, you know, I need you to go to the hospital. We're going to have to transfer you to a hospital. And you'll have to stay a couple days, at least 2 days, at least until Saturday. No, Jim doesn't want to do that. So he says, no, just give me something for my diarrhea and then I'll go home. And the doctor says, no, this is serious. He said, you know, you're very fortunate because most people wait until they're in pain, like a really bad pain, because Jim's level of pain was a 5. So he said, if you wait too much longer, it could rupture. And then if it ruptures, then we got to take out that part of your colon or whatever. And so Jim says, well, what is the likelihood of that happening? So I said, Jim, you're going to the hospital. And he says, well, no. And the doctor says, well, I really strongly recommend that you go. And I said, well, you know, Jim, you need to go. No, I don't need to go. It's just, you know, I just thought that they'd give me something for diarrhea. Obviously, they can't treat me. And I go, you know, if you don't go and it ruptures, you're going to have to wear a colonoscopy bag the rest of your life. And the look on Jim's face, because that's our biggest dread, and that you never have to do that. And the doctor just kind of looked at me, and I go, right? So I think he figured out that was the only way to get Jim to the hospital. Or maybe it really was true, and I did diagnose it right. And he says, it's a minimal possibility right now, if we treat it right now. He says, but your wife is right. If you go home and you don't treat it, and you have all of this stuff backing up that, it'll rupture like an appendix, and then you would have to have a colonoscopy back. Okay, now he's decided he's going to go to the hospital. So now so now they say, okay, we're going to send you to the Beaumont Grosse Pointe, which is a very good hospital. I'm not saying anything about the hospital. It is a very good hospital. But it's not anywhere near our house. It's 40 minutes away. We chose poorly when we bought our house because we should have realized that we're going to get old one day and we're going to need a hospital close. Because our nearest hospital is the one we wanted him to go to, which is a half an hour away. So, well, no, I take that back. The nearest hospital that we could go to is about 20 minutes away. It's not a good hospital. I'll go the extra 10 minutes. It's just, if it's a life or death situation, I'm still going the extra 10 minutes. It's just not, it doesn't have a good reputation. So, anyway, they said, okay, we're going to send you there. And I go, well, can't you see if he can just go to where we wanted him to go, where all of our doctors are, the ones that gave him his colonoscopy, and the ones where his primary physician, his heart doctor, everybody, all of them go to St. John Macomb. So, well, we'll try. So then they called over there, and they don't take transfer patients from Beaumont. The service that transports doesn't transport to St. John Macomb. So then Jim says, well, then I'll just drive myself over there. And so they said, well, if you do that, now mind you, we've already been here in this hospital for like 6 hours. Yeah, 6 hours at this point. And she says, well, the only bad thing about driving yourself is you can't transfer your records or anything like that. You'll have to start at square one in the emergency room again. So you're going to invest another 6 hours. Plus, you're going to have all of these tests again because, they're not going to trust our tests. So he says, oh, okay, fine. Make the arrangements. Well, then it was taking forever. So then they finally come in, and they said, well, they'll probably be here in another hour. And I said, oh, okay. Well, in the meantime, I had to go pick up Alyssa from school because I had told her that, I would pick her up. So I'm thinking full well, because by picking her up and dealing with the high school traffic and all that, and getting her home and then getting back to the center where he was at, it was a good 45 minutes. So I thought, oh, he's probably gone by now. And but I thought, I'll go. I tried to call him, he didn't answer. So I thought, well, he must be gone, but I'm going to go just in case. And just as I got there, I was ready to call him again, and he calls me and he says, well, are you coming back? He still hadn't been transported. And I thought, oh. So we went back in there and we sat there for another 2 hours. Okay, so then they finally came to pick him up and bring him. And then I said, well, Jim, I'm not going to go with you because it'll be dark by the time I'm coming home, and I can't handle that dark drive. And he said, no, I understand. So I called Christy, and Christy said she would go because he wanted to bring his iPad, and his phone was almost dead, so he needed his phone charger. So then Christy came over to the house and got all this stuff, and she went. So I went to bed. And this was I'm watching TV, and like I said, I didn't go to bed till about 2. So it was a long day yesterday, and I got another long day ahead of me today. But I got in the car this morning, and my song from Sia, Unstoppable, came on, which reminded me that I am unstoppable and I can overcome anything, even a 40-minute drive home. So, anywho, at least I can stay. When I brought Denise for her colonoscopy, I couldn't stay. I had to figure out where I was going to go. And but here I can stay. So I brought my iPad, and I brought a book. I'm reading that book. Something I'll show you later. But something Friend of the Family, or what's it called? Oh, Not a Happy Family. Not a Happy Family. I started reading it yesterday in the emergency room, but Jim was nervous and he kept talking. I showed you our impression of when we go out to eat. He wasn't like that in the hospital. He was talking, so I'd read a little bit and then he'd start talking, so I put the book aside. And then we talk a little bit, and then he'd stop, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, I could pick up my book again, and I'd pick up my book again, and then he'd start again. And so I can read anytime, but, you know, if Jim wants to talk, I'm going to talk. So that's what we did. So we are here at Danny's. Obviously, I didn't get on the video right away because this is a little bit of a drive. So I will show you Danny, and then I will talk to you soon. You just going to say hi, Danny? Well, I'm having something real quick before I go to see Jim at the hospital because Danny is home now and he's making, what are you making, Danny?
Banana pancakes and sausage patties.
From his by his own recipe, I guess. He smashed up his own bananas, and we'll see. But I'm going to have a quick breakfast before I leave. I'm going to have a slice of cheese. I've already eaten my hard-boiled egg. I forgot to film it with an orange, a banana, and a bagel with some Laughing Cow cheese. So 2 points for the juice, 5 points for the bagel with the topping on it. So that's 7, and 3 points for my piece of cheese, so it's 10 points. And here we are with Jim.
Yep, just loving every minute of it.
What's the hardest part right now?
Hardest part right now is not being able to get up and do what I want to do.
All right. And sitting here visiting, making conversation.
Exactly.
We went for a walk, but then Jim's little device kept beeping, which is his worst thing he hates in the hospital, is all the beeping noises.
Exactly. Had to come in and plug it in to recharge it. And I want to thank everybody that's been sending me all the get well wishes. I really appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
And look at the good son came to visit his dad.
He did.
Show me with your mask.
No.
Jimmy didn't want to wear his mask.
I didn't say I didn't want to wear it. I wore it to get up here.
Yeah. Once we're in the room, we don't have to. But if you go for a walk with your dad, they bust you.
They do.
They busted both of us.
Yeah, because we went for a walk without a mask on.
Yeah. Because you don't make get someone sick. Here I understand.
Yeah.
That's going to a store, I'm like,
And he's actually coming to get some stuff out of the basement tomorrow.
I am tomorrow. And I'm a popular guy right now.
Yeah. So say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, that was a long day, let me tell you. Got stuck in rush hour traffic coming home. My 30-minute drive turned into being over an hour. I was like in panic mode. It's way past my comfort zone. Oh my gosh. It was awful. It was awful. But I'm home now. I'm gonna think I'm just gonna have a small salad for my dinner. Jim looks like he's gonna be able to come home tomorrow. So that's good news. They decided that they think that what they saw on the x-ray was scar tissue from his hernia operation. So they took some stool samples today and they came back okay. So if he can hold on till tomorrow, keeping up like he's doing right now, he should be able to come home tomorrow. So thank you once again for all your prayers. I so appreciate it. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it. Stay safe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.